Good evening, visitors. Welcome to the Australian War Memorial's last post ceremony. My name is Troy Clayton, and joining us today from the Royal Australian Air Force is Squadron Leader Stacey Davids. We welcome the veterans who have served, those that are still serving, and the families that love and support them. We also acknowledge the members of the RSL Services Clubs Association, RSL Victoria, and RSL Queensland, who are watching the ceremony broadcast across Australia. During this evening's ceremony, wreaths will be laid at the base of the Pool of Reflection by visitors to the memorial. Please stand and join in singing the National Anthem. Thank you. If you're able, please be seated. The Australian War Memorial was the vision of Charles Bean, Australia's First World War official historian. Bean landed with the Australian troops on Gallipoli and stayed with them at the front through to the end of the war. The idea of this national memorial and museum came to him at Pozières, France, in the depths of the bloody fighting of 1916. Bean's idea was that this would be a place where families and friends could mourn their loved ones buried in faraway places. It would also be a place that could help all Australians understand what these men and women had endured and what they had done for us. Bean's vision, to which we remain true, is best expressed as inscribed in the entrance to the memorial's galleries. Here is their spirit, in the heart of the land they loved, and here we guard the record which they themselves made. Tonight, we will read the story behind just one of those on the Roll of Honour, which lists the names of more than 102,000 men and women who have given their lives for us in war and operations for more than a century. But first we present a lament, Flowers of the Forest. Wreaths or floral tributes will now be laid at the base of the Pool of Reflection.
Today we remember and pay tribute to Arthur Bevan Llewellyn. Born in the Sydney suburb of Bexley on the 16th of August 1918, Arthur Bevan Llewellyn was the son of William Arthur Llewellyn and Berta Llewellyn. Growing up, young Arthur Llewellyn attended the local primary school before attending Kogarah Intermediate High School. A keen sportsman, Llewellyn was a talented athlete and was the holder of the half-mile championship for his Western Suburbs club. When war was announced, Llewellyn was working as a joinery costing and estimates clerk. Enlisting in the Royal Australian Air Force, he began training as a bomb aimer. After his initial training in Australia, he left Melbourne in March 1942 for overseas service, first traveling to Canada, where he spent 4 months undertaking further training, then to Britain. As part of the Empire Air Training Scheme, he was one of almost 27,500 Royal Australian Air Force pilots, navigators, wireless operators, gunners, and engineers who throughout the course of the war joined Royal Air Force squadrons or Australian squadrons based in Britain. After his arrival in Britain, Llewellyn undertook further specialist training before he was posted on the 14th of July 1944 to number 12 Squadron, Royal Air Force. Part of Royal Air Force Bomber Command, number 12 Squadron was equipped with 4-engine Avro Lancaster heavy bombers. Llewellyn had been serving with the squadron for 3 months when on the night of the 23rd and 24th of October, he was the bomb aimer in a Lancaster, taking part in a bombing raid on Essen, Germany. The aircraft was shot down and crashed near the border between Germany and the Netherlands. Llewellyn and all 6 of his crewmates were killed. They were fellow Australians, Warrant Officer John Phillip, Flight Sergeant Douglas McLean, Flight Sergeant John Kelly, Flight Sergeant Kenneth Rowley, Flight Sergeant Ian Fleming, and British crewmate, the flight engineer, Sergeant Frank Niblett. The bodies were recovered from the crash site and the crew are buried side by side in the Winters Wijk Cemetery in the Netherlands. Arthur Llewellyn was 26 years old. His name is listed here on the Roll of Honor on my left, among almost 40,000 Australians who died while serving in the Second World War. A photograph of his headstone is displayed today beside the pool of reflection. This is but one of the many stories of service and sacrifice told here at the Australian War Memorial. We now remember Flight Sergeant Arthur Bevan Llewellyn, who gave his life for us, for our freedoms, and in the hope of a better world.
Please stand for the reading of the Ode and the sounding of the last post.
They shall grow not old as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them. lest we forget.
We leave you this evening with the words of the memorial's founder, Charles Bean. Many a man lying out there at Poziere or in the low scrub of Gallipoli, with his poor, tired senses barely working through the fever of his brain, has thought in his last moments, well, it's over. But in Australia, they will be proud of this. Ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, that concludes the last post ceremony. We'd like to thank you for visiting the Australian War Memorial. Wish you all a very good evening. Thank you.